Hello there! I'm Squire Callahan Ridgeborn, almost a Battlemaster, always a wizard, and tonight I am joined by Naivin the Divine Oni, a Paragon Bard out of the Kingdom of Tal Dagore. Naivin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm so excited to have you on tonight and talk about Bard. Where is Tal Dagore in the country?
Missouri, a little bit of Iowa, a little bit into Illinois, but it's mostly focused in Missouri.
Okay, cool. How did you get started in Amtgard?
My first professional career, I was a teacher, and we do a thing. It was elementary school, and one of the things we do is a park day, and so we take the kids down to the local park, which just happened to also be the park Amtgarders were playing at the time. And so
Oh, that's fun.
I had one of my teaching partners take the kids back. I went and talked to him and was like, "Hey, I need your times and dates so I can come out." And now I've been doing it for over 10 years.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, and now I know that you are a knight. What kind of knight are you?
I am a knight of battle and a knight of flame.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk plenty about battle, but what did you do to get your Knight of Flame?
I make and contribute to a lot of battle games. So for like Known World War, I was the warcrat for like 4 out of the like 6 that have happened so far.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Lots of
mostly
smithing,
it's my
lots of battle
smiths.
gaming.
Yeah.
I approve. This is a knight after my own heart. Okay. Well, let's start diving into Bard. What is the job of a Bard on the battlefield?
I mean, it depends. Art is way versatile. I feel, besides maybe Druid, but I could whine about Druid all day. Bard is probably one of the most flexible classes out there. You can play as complete support. You can play as complete, I'm just going to go in and hit people. You can play a menagerie of multiple things, crowd control. However you want to play, you can make Bard fit your style. And so it kind of depends on the game that's played and how you like to play as a Bard.
Okay. What is your personal favorite way to play Bard?
So I give it different flavors of names depending on how I'm feeling that event. Most of the time, I like to say I'm a battlefield manipulator. I typically play crowd control plus a little battle mixed in. Sometimes, if I'm feeling a little goofy, I'll just say, like, all right, I'm pulling out my annoying list. Let's go play the annoying game. But typically, I play CC with shield and sword to fight. So.
Okay. What's your favorite kind of battle game to play Bard in?
I typically like point objective type games, so that can either be like we need to go pick up some things and bring them back, or not like maybe King of the Hill, things where there are specific areas people need to be in, because I feel, especially the way I play, like I get to be super strong in those games because I get to choose where people go.
Okay. And a moment ago, you mentioned that you have an annoying list. What is that annoying list? What's on it? What are you doing with it?
So my typical standard list is besides a shield and a sword, and then I take Song of Freedom and Song of Deflection, and those 4 are on my list pretty much every time. And then the rest gets filled in with terrors, awes, lost, shoves, literally anything where I can choose who I'm fighting, or if people get to be close to me or far away from me or have to fight me or go somewhere else. So I call it the annoying list, or typically like, okay, I'm going to pick somebody and you might not get to play this game type of list. It might be warrior in full plate who's now going to be lost for like 90% of the game. So that's what I call the annoying list.
Okay. That does sound frustrating to be the guy that's lost for 90% of the game. At a certain point, you go somewhere else. Stop coming back to that.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I'm not picking on anybody specifically. And most of the time, like once or twice, and that person doesn't even want to play on the side I'm on anymore. They just go fight other people and stop going like, oh, I'm not going to go fight the Bard.
Unless they're particularly stubborn and making bad choices. We joke around about casters bullying people a lot, but really, I think a good third of it is the marshals just being stubborn and not doing what we're telling them to go do, you know?
Well, I don't have armor. You have 4 points. What am I supposed to do besides make you go away from me? Or I could run. But if you've seen my figure, I'm not running.
I mean, I'm surprisingly quick, but very short distances. If it's a
Exactly.
if it's a race, not going well. Okay. So why did you start playing Bard?
I think it was one of those, I came out my first day. I knew I wanted to play a caster. And when I'm looking at the casters, I really wanted something that I could determine what to do on the field. Bard doesn't get a lot of kill spells, no kill spells. And I wasn't really looking to swing the field that way. I wanted to be in control. Like, the reason I got knighted partially was for like the tactics I participate in the game. And so I felt like Bard really fit into that strength. And then once you get past like level 1 Bard,
Mm-hmm.
once you start getting into like some of the more like unique spells, like I feel like Lost or awes and terrors, and then like trying to figure out like in the middle of a game, all right, I know this is type of this school and this one's this one, and these don't work against these players. So trying to figure out and play that mental game in the middle of a field that's teeming with fights is just extremely fun.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. What makes Bard unique amongst the casters?
I think so. All the casters get a little bit of everything for the most part, but I feel like again, Bard's versatility and the different aspects you can play, I feel like trump all the other three. If you want to be a support, you are an excellent support as a Bard. If you want to go and just fight, you can be a really good fighter with a Bard and just have some utility in that back end that you can use to get out of things that others can't. If you want to crowd control, it's got some of the best crowd control spells that are in the game. And other classes get those too, every bits and pieces. But I feel like Bard is the quintessential, like, whatever we need for this game, a Bard can come up and do it for you.
I can definitely see that. Bard has, I would argue, the most versatility in being able to flex from position to position, even during a game. On paper, Druid has more flexibility because they can like go full support or they can go full aggro, but Bard can like on the same
I can take
list,
a little bit. Yeah, I can take a little bit of everything and still be useful in all three aspect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be like, oh, I can only 50-50 something. I can take a little bit of crowd control, a little bit of battery, and a little bit of like a sword and a shield and be effective in 3 different positions.
100%. And that gives you like actual flexibility versus the druid that has theoretical flexibility. Once the druid steps onto the field, they're locked in, where the bard can shift what they're doing in the middle of the game.
100%.
So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I agree with your assessment there. Which bard spell do you like the best?
My favorite spell is Agoraphobia, and it's not good. It's not a good spell in terms of like where it's at on the bard list, and like it's a refresh. But man, can you not get over how cool that spell is like in thought? Like you don't get to be around anybody right now. My team, your team, no. And so if you're in the right kingdom, like we've got a lot of people who know like I'll run one a game because I find it hilarious. And they'll role play the heck out of it when I finally cast it on one of them. They'll run around like a chicken with their head cut off, screaming, going, "Oh, get away!" And it's just a fun part of the game, even though, like in all actuality, that spell you shouldn't be taking.
Well, I think Agoraphobia is 5th level for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 5th level
refresh.
Command school.
It's like command, so like half the field's immune to it right now, anyways. Like,
right.
It's not a great spell, but very fun.
A fun spell. And the incant for it, I command thee to be alone. Just there's some incants that I like.
They don't roll well,
but it feels correct. Like I was talking to I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody the other day about terror versus awe. Like I command the awed is a weird feeling sentence versus death makes thee terrified is a very descriptive sentence. I feel like agoraphobia, like I command thee to be alone, is very clear and understandable spell. And
yes, it just the way the like, especially if you're trying to speed it off, it because the be alone, it's hard to flow. And so if somebody actually knows the spell and you're not saying it right, you'll get called out pretty quick on it.
Which, if anything, makes it better, I think.
Oh, that's true.
What is the spell you like the least on the bard list?
Let me pull up the bard list really quick. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, and it's useful, it's what people like, but it is so against the way I play, it would be Heart of the Swarm. Like, I know Heart of the Swarm is a good spell. I know, like, its utility. I'm glad when another bard uses it, but I don't think I have, and nor probably ever will have that on my list. It's just so against how I typically play that I think, for me, it would be Heart of the Swarm.
I can see that. It really... like it feels like a really build around spell, Heart of the Swarm. Like you can't it's not something you dip into. It's something that you plan for, and you need a crew to really make work.
Well, and you know how we were talking about like the flexibility on the field. It just like
Hmm.
kills your flexibility on the field. Even battlefield triage, like if I took that, like it's a quick thing that I'm stopped for the time I need to use it, and then
Hmm.
I don't have to worry about it anymore. Whereas Heart of the Swarm, like if you're taking it, that's what you're doing for the game.
Right.
So it kills that flexible nature of like what I enjoy out of it.
Yeah, it feels like a weird. It's such a unique enchantment that it like if you can be good at Heart of the Swarm, I don't know if you can be like good at it. Are you good at standing around? Like,
I feel like where you place it and how you build the rest of your kit can demonstrate
yeah,
how it is. But again, that's all right. This is what I'm going to do, and that's it. Like
right.
all flexibility out the wall. This is what I have.
And it really locks you soft into that support build. Like you're not getting the good CC
Hmm.
out of it. You're definitely not going out and attacking people with it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I would really like to find a like Paragon Heart of the Swarm bard out there somewhere and like figure out what they're doing with it because I feel like there's a somewhere somebody has done the thing with Heart of the Swarm, but I haven't found them yet.
Uh, I will tell you, Fly here in Tal Dagore, she's Paragon Bard. She typically plays a Heart of the Swarm Bard, a Heart of the Swarm battery
Oh,
style Bard.
okay. I'll have to try to get in touch with her to bring her on the show next year.
Yeah.
Because that'd be interesting. I'd love to get the tech on that out here to the Rising Winds. Okay. What is a non-meta aspect of Bard that you really enjoy?
What do you mean by non-meta
Like
aspect of Bard? Sorry.
you already kind of gave us your favorite spell being non-meta, but like is there something off the wall?
So I've got one, and I think you'll like this because y'all talked about it on your last Bard one.
Okay.
But silver tonguing yourself as a Bard, so if somebody does try to disenchant your song, you don't have to stop your song. So then they thought they got a gotcha with the song thing, and it takes the silver tongue instead because it doesn't count against your enchantment limit.
Can you silver tongue yourself?
Pretty sure you can. Now I have to double
It's
check.
range of touch. Okay.
Um, so I thought of that especially because most people don't try to dispel my songs here in Tal Dagore. But
Right.
after I saw that video, I was like, man, people be doing that. Like I get the meme of it because I can just pop it right back. But like
Mhm.
I feel like it'd be funny to meme the memer. And then a thing I typically do a lot is like if I'm in a situation where I can't get out of it, for example, I have like maybe two paladins running at me in full plate. Like I've got real nothing in my kit that's gonna be super effective against paladin. I'll lost myself out of this because I can lost myself, so I'll lost myself out.
Okay. I don't think that would work. You'd have to pick up an attune from a druid as well, and then
For what?
to do a song and silver tongue at the same time.
Silver tongue
Because
doesn't count against your enchantments.
are you talking about sleight of mind perhaps?
That is what I'm talking about, not silver tongue. My brain,
Okay,
man. A sleight of mind
because silver tongue's
was
the
what I
one that
was talking
gives
about.
you once per refresh swift.
Yeah,
Sleight of
yeah.
mind
I had
is
read it.
range other,
Yeah.
so you
Okay.
can't enchant yourself with it.
Man,
Although, if a bard could give
I
another
could
bard,
chant another bard. Yeah.
you if two bards trade sleight of mind, I don't know if
Oh,
that's a colossal waste of resources or the
oh,
best idea. Okay, you can see
100%. But
why
it
I
is
was so
good.
confused here
Yeah.
because I'm like
Well, yeah.
thinking about here. This doesn't make it. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that because depend. If you've got a bard doing a thing and you want to stop them from doing the thing, you kind of. I mean, the old dispel trick works. Mostly, it's something that I tell people to go like train them on dispel. It's like go dispel that bard, and that the bard just re-ups, and then like okay, cool, recharge it, go dispel them again. You end up in a really nice dispel loop, and it doesn't really hurt the bard, so you can do it at park without
Oh,
feeling bad.
100%. Yeah.
And like
Yeah, because it takes us no time, unless you're doing like Song of Interference, but it takes us no time to pop the song back up.
and it it's something I've done training my son because he plays wizard a lot. Like yeah, if a bard is doing songs, what can you do about it? And he always goes for the amulet dispel, and then like by the time he comes at you with whatever he's got, it's like okay, well I can get back into the song faster than you can charge your ice ball and get over here. The Song of Freedom is not. You got to be faster than that. You got to be in position.
Hmm.
Even if you do dispel the bard, they still have the sword, right? They've got the stick to threaten. So
Yeah.
Okay. What part of Bard do you find most challenging?
So I don't think Bard is like the weakest class. I feel like especially once Paladin and Anti-Paladin kind of became like free reign, which I was all for, but it definitely weakened Bard like significantly. It gave you two classes that were immune to command, and then one is command and death, so your terrors and your losts, and I mean I have shove, but and they all can wear armor. Like used to people might be like, well, Monk's my enemy because I can't do anything against Monk, but I got Stick, so I can fight Monk. But now I've got somebody who's basically, to me, a monk that can wear full armor and come at me, and I got nothing for you now. I like nothing. So I feel like, especially once those became free reign, that became one of the hardest challenges for Bard, because a lot of people want to play those classes, which by all means, please do. But it became so much harder to play, especially a CC Bard when that came out.
Well, and you've probably heard me talk about the problem with our command immunity field right now, where it it really is a problem, and having fully half of the field be immune, and not like, oh, half the classes are immune, but like the things people play,
Yeah.
like the things that actual players are playing, at least that I've been seeing and that everyone I've been talking to has been seeing. If you're playing a melee class, you're playing Paladin or Anti-Paladin. Like,
Yep. 100%, especially right now because their archetypes are great. So
their archetypes are
like
so good.
why would you not play them? Like they're so good right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's my thing, like CC fighting, most of the people I'm fighting is the melee class. Like most of the casters I don't really need to worry about. They're casting on other people, not typically the bard. And if they do, all right, I'm gonna break con you a couple times and then you're probably not gonna cast at me anymore. So like now so many people are just immune to everything I have. It's become frustrating, but a good challenge.
Do you have any fun stories about times you've been playing Bard you'd like to share?
So I've gone to Keep ever since I started playing. So that's been about 10 years ago. I was in SI with Aurelius and a couple of those others when we were winning Keeps back and forth, and those were really fun. I know once recently I come out as a bard like I normally do, and when you're playing at Keep and you've got that many people on the field and it's loud, it's hard for anybody to hear your spells. So like anything at range, nothing. So you really can only communicate with the people that are maybe right next to you so that they can hear what you're actually casting. But one person came out, Big Head came out, and he looked at me. I saw him in his eyes, and he just turned around and walked back. And I was like, later after the game, I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, you were going to loss me. So I just went ahead and took the loss and went back so I could fight on the other side.
That's the most Big Head thing, too. Oh, he is. Every time I fight Big Head in any format, he just has a big old grin on his face, and he's just so happy to be there.
Ear to ear.
And he's
ear
just
to ear.
He's got a big head, but he's got a bigger smile, and he just does not care what you cast at him or if you beat him. He's just having the best time of his life.
100%.
The happiest I ever saw him, we were playing on a Rising Winds field, and the game runner had put a bunch of anti-magic circles around the field. And if you're in the anti-magic circle, he said that you're functionally militia. Like, nothing matters. You're militia in the circle. And Big Head went, really? And then as soon as Leon was called, he booked it and he parked himself in one of the anti-magic circles and then just stood there, low 6 points of armor, just like, who's gonna come get me? And I'm like,
yeah, you have to
good
come
for you,
fight
Big
me
Head.
now.
It's not. I'm not gonna go fight the sword battle knight in 6 points of armor when he's waiting for it. No. Oh, but yeah, he's a delightful player, and I need to try to get him on the show sometime. I asked him before, and it was like he wasn't sure if he wanted to be on or not, so I should ping him again sometime. But we're going to take a super quick break to hear a word from our sponsor. Hello again, and welcome to the ad. Today's video is sponsored by me, Paragon Wizard Callahan Richborn, the proprietor of the Almost Battlemaster Callahan YouTube channel, and I'm here today to talk to you because I need your help. When I started this YouTube channel, my goal was to try to get as many Paragons as possible to come in and reveal to us all their secrets so that we can steal their tech and know how to do battle gaming better together. And through my time running the channel, I have started to run out of paragons that I know and I've been able to get in touch with. So this is where you come in. I've created the Paragon interview recommendation form. There's a spot here to tell me if you're a Paragon interested in coming on the show. And if you're not a Paragon yet, then there's a spot to tell me about local Paragons in your area that you'd like to see on the show. The link to the form is going to be down in the description. And if you click on it, it's going to look just like this. And you're going to be able to go in and recommend Paragons that you think should be on the show. And once they're in there, I will look into contacting them and seeing if they're willing to come on and talk to me. So please recommend people that you know that would be great guests. Thank you, and let's get you back to the main video. And we're back. I'm still here with Naivin, a Paragon Bard, and we're about to talk about the archetypes. Naivin, which one of the archetypes is your favorite to play?
I bet you would never guess.
Ooh. From everything you've said,
it's really not a hard guess.
I'm kind of feeling Combat Caster.
Yeah, it's 100% Combat Caster.
Okay,
It's what I always take. Because like I said, I
really
always,
good.
yeah. And I always take a board, I always take a sword, and then my two freedom and deflection. And so I always have Combat Caster so I can cast all my CC.
Okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, Combat Caster just says that it doesn't, the player does not require an empty hand to cast abilities, which so good. You can be sword and board fighting, still casting. You don't even have to cast at the guy in front of you. It's crazy good. This sounds like it's your bread and butter. So why don't you tell us about it instead of me telling us about it?
Yeah, so it's exactly like you said. You don't need an open hand to cast like any other caster would need. And so it makes it, especially when you're in the middle of a battle. So with a board, you technically can get away with it if you drop that part of your board and you have an open hand, but then your board has to hang. So if you're in the middle of a fight, you can't. It's very hard to drop that because then it's not wielded and keep fighting and cast all at the same time. Whereas if I'm full boarded up, I can keep fighting, and as long as I don't move my feet, I can cast while I'm fighting you. And that might be hey, I might be losing this fight, so I need to get you away, or any other thing. So there's been plenty of times where I've been in the middle of the fight casting something at the same time. Or those people who run up on you as you're casting because they're like, well, if I kill you before you're done, then your spell doesn't work. Okay, well, I can keep fighting. I don't have to worry about only using one stick and keeping this hand out of the way. Like it's a good way to protect myself while also casting in the moment.
Okay. Are there any drawbacks to it? I don't feel like there's any negative to this. Like most of the other archetypes. So.
Yeah. This one doesn't have like a built-in negative like some of the others do. It's more like, okay, it doesn't give you, doesn't double the amount of herbals you can take. It doesn't, you know what I mean? But otherwise, not really, except for the point you spend at 6th level for it.
Yeah, and like 2 points to be able to cast with full hands, like that feels pretty good. Like if this was available on any other caster, I feel like they're buying it too.
I can Florentine and keep casting if I want to. Like nobody else can do that. Nobody can even come close to doing that.
Yeah. I always see like wizards will have the short sword and the long sword, and they'll get like the min long sword and the max short sword. And then they've got like strings, and they're trying to mimic this ability like functionality, but it doesn't quite work for them the same way because you can while fighting be casting, which is just so
100%.
strong.
As long as I don't move my feet while doing it, we're good.
So what about Dervish? So Dervish, you hinted at. It says that the equipment costs are doubled. Each verbal gives double the usage.
If I really want to play like a Mimi spell list, or if I really know like, okay, not a kingdom, not an interkingdom event, because again, those are so big that it's hard for people to hear when you're casting them, but like a kingdom level event, if I know it's going to be a decent objective-based game, I can take Dervish, and I mean, I can still keep a dagger with me. I won't buy any equipment, but then I have double the amount of loss. I have double the amount of CC than normal, which I already have a lot. So doubling that then makes it where like, as long as I don't die, I can keep casting for almost the whole game and not have to worry about my per lives or anything like that. So it's a good spell, but it kind of depends on the game you're playing and your normal play style.
Sure, that makes sense. Have you tried playing Dervish with a magic staff by chance?
Oh, I started med school before the magic staffs come out. And so while I still get out, I have not gotten to use or do anything with the magic staffs yet. So
That's fair.
I'm knowledgeable on the magic staff aspect.
Medical school is notoriously difficult, so I think we can forgive your lack of knowledge there.
It's almost done. We're almost done.
Oh, well, then you'll have to try to get your Paragon healer, and you can be the Doctor Paragon
Yeah.
healer. Ooh, okay. So I do want to talk about that downside of that equipment cost being doubled. That feels both steep and not terribly bad at the same time. Like if you're just doing the sword and board, I mean, is
It's
there still
expensive
room
with a sword and board.
Because
There is room.
board. Where's the medium board on your list? There's
5th, I think.
Yeah, your small shield is 3rd level, and your medium shield is 5th level. So it'd be 6 points at level 5. And so by the time you bought Dervish and spent 6 points at level 5, you were looking pretty scrawny there. And then your short sword costs double, so it's 4.
Yeah.
So
you're spending a insane amount of points for just that
Mhm.
2 pieces of equipment. And with it being at 6th level, if you wanted that medium shield, like that's where Lost is, and that's one of your hard utility spells that you would want Dervish for.
Right. So
So
by
you're
the time
kind of
you
cutting
bought it all,
yourself.
it'd be 10 points down or 12 points down if you when you buy Dervish. Then
Mhm.
you're looking at because you only get 31, and if you're 12 down, that leaves you with 19 to double at that point, assuming you bought no songs. And
Yeah.
you'd
No songs. I mean, I guess you could buy your stun at 6th level, but you have to save some of your points if you want your losts at 5th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you start your better utility spells are at 5th and 4th level, which you've started to kill a lot of your points.
Right. I mean, it gets slightly less terrible if you are only buying the small shield, but you're not getting the armor at that point.
No, definitely not. And again, this is great if you're doing a battery bard, because a lot of the battery bard utility is actually on the lower end of it. So if you still wanted to get like a small shield just to keep yourself kind of away from like, arrows or something like that, you can still afford to spend it on the small shield.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like if you're playing a battle type, it's just not worth the equipment cost.
Okay. And I feel like that's a really balanced archetype because of that. You get like there's
Mhm.
really good availability here, but you're sacrificing something that you're also really good at.
And I feel like this would be different if we had kill spells. Like if we had kill spells, it would be a much different situation if you could double your verbals. But we don't have kill spells, we have utility spells. And so I feel like it's okay to double all of your utility spells at the cost of you now not having the fighting capacity for it.
I could see that. All right. Well, let's talk about Legend, because Legend I have a lot of
hate
feelings
Legend.
about Legend.
I don't like Legend.
Each extension gives double the usage, and it costs 1 point at level 6 to double your extensions. But why don't you tell me your thoughts on Legend first, and then I'll tell you my thoughts.
Again, Legend can be good. It's cheap. It doubles your extensions, but that also means you need to be putting points into buying those extensions. And like we've already talked about, once you start getting into bigger and bigger games, extensions don't really do anything because the people can't hear you that far away. Like I wish they could, it would be great, but most of the time you're talking to the people right in your range zone because those are the only people who can hear you. By the time I have let the person that far away know that I've casted on them, they've either died or if I've died trying to relay that information. Like, so I don't really extend anything anyways because I play like a fighting hybrid. So if I need to cast something at you, I'm going to go get into range to cast at you.
Right. Even as a
That's
wizard,
kind of
I
where it
don't buy the
lies. But
extensions. Like,
and I will say, like, I don't think doubling your extensions is a bad idea. I don't think it should be a 6th level archetype where it's double your extension. We got you. What a great archetype to have. Like, it's just so weak in terms of especially combat caster and dervish. Like, it doesn't even come close to holding a candle to either of those two.
Well, and my thought on it is, if I was going to, if they came to me and they let me make V9, new V9, V9.K or whatever, it doesn't matter, but I would just take Legend and say that it makes extension unlimited. because
100%. Yeah.
it, like, if you look at it, it is a straight across comparison to Battle Mage, and Battle Mage gets Ambulance Unlimited. They only have to spend 3 points, and they get unlimited Ambulance. Legend has to spend 3 points to get 4, and that, like, and if you don't buy both extensions, it doesn't do anything, because if you buy one extension, you just rolled down a point into extension, and it. I do think that with the Dervish doubling your verbals, one of the things that I would like to see happen is casters be limited to one archetype and rebalance around that a little bit, because then it would allow us to push a couple of these archetypes a little bit more and make them a little bit better to kind of catch up to the really good archetypes, right? Like, every caster class has an archetype that is the best archetype, and then the other two just are like also there, you know?
Yeah, but you mostly see everybody playing that one. Yeah.
I would say that Bard is actually really well positioned because it has two archetypes that are both worth playing exclusively from each other.
Yeah.
Combat cast good.
And I mean, I agree with you. I think if we made it where you could, you know, they have the 3, you can only pick one of those plus whatever other 6 utility, like if you want stuns or whatever. But yeah, because you could buy all of them if you wanted to. You could combat cast Dervish Legend. There'd be no reason for it, but you could.
If you want to get really controversial, I would like to see Look the Part go away for every class and be replaced by the archetypes.
Okay.
And, you know, couldn't you see that? Like, oh yeah, as your Look the Part, you can choose one of these things. And so you'd need to rework a couple of them to make them really function. The one that I'm specifically thinking of is I would like Elemental Barrage to, like, Evokers should specifically give you an Elemental Barrage that is rechargeable instead of having to buy it, because the other thing that it would do is it would allow the archetypes to work at every level as well. So you could then spec into it a lot earlier. You know, if you're coming out of a different class and you're playing into one of these new caster classes, it is a long drag to try to get to level 6 before you can then play the archetype that you already know how to do.
Yeah, 100%.
No level 3 bard shouldn't be able to buy combat caster. It's not that complicated. And so it's a really cool ability. I think it would make it more, especially like your Look the Part, like, oh, how do you look like a combat caster? That becomes a new thing that I think would be neat. But I digress. I'm glad you agree with me about the Legend archetype, because that's
it's just so weak in comparison to the other two. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody actually take Legend.
And I feel like
in 10 years, I don't know if I've seen one.
Also just doesn't... I know a couple of people out here in the Rising Winds that will buy Legend, but it's sort of like an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, I might as well. It's not something they're planning for. And then Extension is such... I would argue Extension is probably the weakest meta magic that we have.
Yeah, Ambulant is so much stronger than Extension.
Ambulant is so strong. Swift is amazing. Extension just is not as good. And it's like, okay, you know, being able to cast at 50 feet on paper feels really powerful. In practice, maybe not, you know?
I mean, it's good if you want to cast at somebody like 30 feet, but...
Well, and I think that the other thing that if you gave Bard unlimited extension, Bard becomes the midline killer. Like, if you think about the way that lines normally break down, most of the healers and wizards like to stand in that midline area that's maybe 20, 22 feet away from the other casters, and then they dip in and out. And if you're playing Bard at that point, you can be like, oh yeah, I'm going to extended breakcon that healer over there. And so you could spend those extensions a lot more, especially, and that's why I say Dervish can't go with the extension that we're pitching.
Oh yeah, because then you would have so mumuch CC.
Just like
at 50 feet for everything, just like all of you. Suppressor Aura, everybody.
Well, Suppressor Aura is already 50 feet.
Suppressor Aura already at 50 feet, that's true.
But,
yes. But
you could breakcon absolutely everybody.
Everybody.
And it would just it would contribute to the command immunity problem even harder. Like, okay, as someone that gets suppressed a lot at Kingdom Field, I don't think it would be that bad if they were mutually exclusive. And it'd be kind of neat. And then, Bard also gets greater release. Just, oh yeah, I'm going to greater release people.
Love greater release.
Way over there. I feel like it'd open up some shenaniganry that I think would be fun. And you also could, one of the things that makes Battle Mage so powerful is that while moving, they can still bluff spells. So being able to target, ambulant, start casting, and then pick a new target, Bard could then do that with its meta magic as well. 100%. So you could bluff BreakCon, as they're casting, you could be like, oh, almost gotcha.
Which I do at 20 feet, but to be able to do it when they think they're out of range is
I think it'd be really an interesting change. Maybe that makes it too strong, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think there's
as long as you did make it where you couldn't take Legend and Dervish at the same time. You did make all of them mutually exclusive. I agree. It would actually make me think about taking Legend on some of those games where I want to play CC and we have a big field, but it's just so not worth taking right now.
Are you ready for my truly controversial hot take?
Let's do it.
I would change Priest so that it makes their meta magic not rechargeable anymore, and I would just give them unlimited Swift.
Okay, yeah. Why not?
That's what they're buying it for anyway, right? And then you could take off the restriction, and then it's just, I'm the Swift healer, and then what's it really gonna do? They're already gonna.
Yeah,
you're just making them say less words over time.
I don't think it would functionally I don't think it would buff them so much that it'd be oh my gosh, why did we ever do that?
Right. Why is healers ambulant per refresh? That feels weird. Let them live the ambulance lifestyle if they want to live the ambulance lifestyle. Come on. And then anyway, I digress. Let's circle back to Bard and let's talk about your playstyle. So when you're playing your normal Bard list, are you buying the armor or are you just buying the sword and shield?
I don't do the armor. I just do the sword and shield. I wouldn't say I am the best stick ever, but I am probably mid stick. So it's enough, especially when I'm controlling who's around, that I can get by without having to spend actually quite a bit of points towards armor.
Yeah, because it's 2 points at 6th level, and then there's another one. Yeah, at 2nd level,
sure it's 3.
So you're dropping 5 points to get 2 points armor, which honestly feels kind of fair, but it's expensive for sure. Okay, what's your go-to combat spell?
Easily lost, unless they're immune to command, and then it switches to terror, and then if they're a paladin, they're just going to get shoved over and over and over again until they don't want to come near me anymore. Although I do really like a greater release. Oh, I love a greater release.
It's such a good spell, and being able to affect it just hits so many things. Greater release is so good.
And typically when I play, I have I'm in a group of 3, so it'll be me and Dante and maybe Fly if she's playing a battle. That way, if something happens to them, I can easily even if they're a distance away from me, I can get them out of it before they're trounced upon. So
I can see that. What are you spending your experienced on?
So typically don't.
Ooh, okay.
Because I fight, I don't normally even take experience. I don't normally use it. Most of the time, a lot of my verbals are per life, and by the time I've gone through them, most of the time I might not even get close to through them before I actually do die. And so that just gives me on back anyways. So most of the time, I honestly, controversial, I don't normally take it.
No, if it works for you, it works for you. That to me seems shocking that you wouldn't, but Bard does have a lot of sustainability built into it, so I guess I can see it. Bard is a class that is neat because you get unlimited things, the songs are unlimited, but it weirds me out that you don't have anything rechargeable at level 1. Everybody gets.
To be fair, if I was going to use experience, it would probably be on a release, just because I normally take less of those than anything else. I would like to use on greater release, but I don't want to do charge that long. So Probably release because again, I take less of them, so I do typically run out of those and then go, man, I wish I had more. So if I was, it would probably be a release.
I can see that. Do you think that greater release should be per life?
I think if you made greater release per life, it would be way too strong.
Okay, good to know.
Shorter incant, less time you have to say it, and at distance, it's just like it should be a refresh. I would love to have it per life, but it would make it way
I
overpowered.
almost wish there was like an intermediate between lives and refresh. Like some per refresh abilities feel like, yeah, that should definitely only happen once a game. Some of them feel like this is definitely too strong to be a per, like pyrotechnics is on this list for me. Like pyrotechnics is too strong to be a per life.
Yep.
But it's not so good that I should only like, if I build around it, I only can get 4 pyrotechnics, and to do that I have to take the weakest archetype, and I have to like jump through all of those hoops. Like, who was so afraid of pyrotechnics? Who hurt you? Like, it's not that good of a spell, honestly. But I like greater release feels like one of those ones that like, yeah, it's really good, but also it's not that good. It's not a stun. It's not a finger of
Yeah.
icy blast. Like, if it was, every other life, if that was a thing somewhere in there.
Or it had a built-in charge with it already. So like it is per
Like a
refresh,
charge
but it's
5.
got a built-in charge 5. So not a full charge 10 because that's way too much. But like it is still able for you to keep using it and go. Because I agree with you. I don't think it's so strong that, man, you should only use this the couple of times you have it for the whole game. But if we made it per life, that's rough.
All right,
Or
here's
you
my new
per life it
pitch.
and have a cap.
Here's my new terrible idea. It's called double experiencing. The first experience makes the charge times 10, and the second experience drops it down to by half.
That's not a bad idea, actually. I mean, you said it like it's a bad idea, but like that's not
I
a
kind of like
horrible
this
idea.
now. Like, yeah, it
That's
costs you
really not
4
bad.
points. It costs 4 points to do this to a spell, but you could get a per refresh down to a 5, or a per life down to a 2. Like,
Or not even make it 4. Like I know if you bought experience twice, it would be 4 points, but you make it 2 points to do it, and then 3 points if you want to double experience it. Because I think 10 to 5 is a good jump, but I don't think it makes it super strong.
it would be interesting because, like, what if we took this to its logical end? Like, shove for wizards is naturally recharge times 3. If I experience shove, does that cut it in half and take it from a 3 to a 1? Because
So I
that
think if you double experience, you can only double experience on per refreshes to get them down to 5. You can't experience other things lower than that. So per 5 would be the highest you could go. So then you wouldn't use it on something that you already have an innate 3.
that feels reasonable to me. I quite like that. I feel like that opens up some really interesting lines of play. You could do a lot with that. Okay. We don't have
Yeah, you got
time
to write
to.
that one down. Yeah, so you
I'm
got to
just going
write
to go
that
ahead
one
and
down.
jot that into my Callahan's V9 proposal right next to my command immunity rebalance and my notes on
Archetypes
my
and look the
archetypes, the
part.
way I would fix druid by giving it animal forms, like all the things. Okay. Circling back to Bard that actually exists, what is Bard weak to as a class?
I think it is at this point in time. It's the immunities, because again, Bard doesn't have to spell, which I understand, but man, would I love to spell. So they don't have to spell, and then they don't have kill spells. So unless you're playing a battery and you don't have to worry about fighting because you're staying back, like the immunities, especially where they're at right now, have just made the field so hard to play in. And I think that's part of a gatekeep towards a lot of people starting to play is they're like, well, I can take these things, but they don't work. I play with 10 people on the field on normal park day, and 5 of them are playing a paladin. I can't do anything to them. So I think right now, the immunities are rough.
I can see that for sure. Like it's a problem that we need to fix for balance wise. And the longer it takes for us to figure that out, I think that it's going to continue to hurt the game. Everyone write your rules rep. Fix the command immunity problem. Okay.
Otherwise than that, I don't think Bard has any like glaring holes. They've kind of got an answer for everybody besides that in some way or another. And again, you can play where I fight the whole time or where I sit back and hang out the whole time. So
I do love the Bard gets men, and you can buy 2 points of armor and a medium shield and a sword, and then dump everything else into mend if you want to. And if you bought Combat Caster, you can just be like, oh yes, you broke my thing, whatever. Mend it. Buy 2 Swifts. Is Bard's Mend, what level is Bard's Mend?
It's low, if I remember right.
It's level 2. It's a level 2 spell once per life. So if you really wanted to like go all in on the self-sustained fighter, you buy 2 Swifts, Combat Caster, roll everything down into that Mend. And then for level 1, you buy 5 releases, and now you have great get out of jail free cards. You have basically infinite armor, and your weapon and your shield will just last forever because you can constantly be mending it. So it really does feel.
I mean, if you really wanted to, you could take Combat Caster and Dervish for this one specifically. If you're just gonna roll mins, then you can those points for the equipment. Who cares? Everything else is going into mins, and now I have way too many mins.
Hang on, let me jump.
I don't even know the math. I was like, I don't know the math right now for that, but you could probably get a lot of mins out of that.
So if I jump over to Swiftguard real quick, and I build a level 6 Bard list with Look the Part, and we bought Combat Caster and Dervish, and then we bought the armor. Oh, you can't afford the armor.
You can't do the top armor, but you can still get the other armor.
You can still get the low armor, but you can buy your
shield. Still get the low armor.
And then where's the low armor? Here it is, the armor for a point. And then you buy your short sword. And then if you drop literally everything into men, you didn't buy any of the songs, which I wouldn't recommend.
Buy 1 Swift.
Oh yes, we do.
Just so you can get that. Yeah, so at least 1 Swift, if not both Swifts.
Yeah, if we buy both Swifts, where's Swift? There you are.
Yeah, and then the rest.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so you would end up with Dervish, Combat Caster, a medium shield, 2 Swifts, 16 mends, 1 point of armor, 2 releases, and a short sword. So
yeah, and then you can mend as you're fighting. Like, oh, you broke that piece of armor. Okay, I'm mending. Oh, you broke that piece of armor. Cool, I'm gonna mend that one too.
Like, oh no,
as long as you're decent stick. Yeah, as long as you're decent stick, you just keep blocking shots while you mend things.
Yeah, I like that. That is dumb, but I think some warlord out there needs to take notes and go be a Paragon Bard with this terrible build.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna have Big Head try that one out. I bet he's gonna really like that.
Oh, this is the Big Head list. Just here comes Paragon Bard Big Head. What does he have? 16 mens and a problem. Big Head, if you're watching this, not only do we love you, we want you to try this list because I think you can pull it off. Oh, that'd be so great. And then like, oh no, I ran out of all my mens. I'll just go see that other bard and get the resto and continue to go.
Oh, insanity.
Oh, it'd be so good. Okay. Oh, so Bard, I asked this question of everybody. I always ask everybody, what class do you hope to see on the field with you? And everybody's first answer is always Bard. Everybody always loves to have a Bard around, mostly for that beautiful Song of Power. Who does Bard hope to see? What is Bard's ultimate team-up combo?
So my team-up combo, I don't know if I specifically have any class person with me. Typically, I want somebody who can have reach. So if I want somebody who can get a pole arm, and then I want another board with me. And then that way, between the 3 of us, and that board can be a healer. If it's a healer, that's probably actually the best choice. Then I can control the field, so I can pick who we fight and how they fight. I've got somebody who can do reach, and then I've got somebody who can also defend while, if something does happen, they can heal us all back up. So preferably a monk on one side of me and a healer with a shield on the other side of me. and like, okay, can't
Yeah.
cast at him. He's just gonna fight you. I'm gonna make sure it's like 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, and then if we do get injured, I got homeboy over here who's just gonna put us all back to full. So that's a mean combo, I think, to roll
That's
the
a
field
good
with. But
combo. I could see like, and you guys can each have a point to armor. I mean, the healer can't, but the monk can have a point. You can have a point. You've got the pole, and when they run the pole, now you're right there with them. Anybody like,
releases. So if they want to heat your pole, okay, cool. I'll just release your pole out.
yeah, that's a really nasty combo. I feel like there's a like part of a battle master tournament could just be built off of that combo right there. Okay. Are there any? I mean, we already talked about paladin a lot. What are you doing for anti-paladin? You're just terroring them?
Yeah, so it would be the same as if I was going against a barbarian. If they're gaining on me too quick, especially with the armor piece, like if they're gaining on me too quick, I'm gonna shove them back before I could, because I can cast shove so much faster than I can cast terror. So yeah, it's typically I'm gonna treat them like they're a barbarian.
Yeah, I can see that. Are there any common misconceptions around Bard you'd like to dispel?
Ooh, I mean, not that I can think off the top of my head. Uh,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, I don't. I mean, Bard is pretty straightforward. Most people, like, as long as the person, like, the Bard you're playing against has no issues explaining things, because a lot of the Bard spells are relatively unique to Bard. You're not really going to hear them from somebody else. I mean, I can't tell you how many times somebody goes, I'm lost. I don't know what that is. What does that mean? Like, so besides being like, these are the things you have to do because I cast at you. Otherwise, I like nothing we do is really gonna like nothing we say at you is going to kill you. Most of the time, it's just an effect that like easily resolvable, not very complicated to get across to you. So
I can see that. Okay. When you're building your spell lists, walk me through that process. How do you build your spell list?
it's dependent on like what games we're going to play. So again, I like to play tactically, so I find out the games way ahead of time so I can prep what type of bard I want to play. Am I going to be way more battle focused? Am I going to tone that down? Do I need to add some battery in? Because most of the time I don't. But certain games do require you to have some stuff built in. So I always prep the games that I'm going to play, and that starts. I'm always going to take Combat Caster because I can't not. It's too good.
It's so good.
But then, like, how many losts I'm going to take versus how many terrors versus, like, do I need to get rid of some of those? Do I need to take the extra songs? Because normally I can get away with just Song of Freedom and Song of Deflection, and that's enough for me. But do I need to take some of the others, depending on, like, what the field's going to look like, how big the field is, those kind of things. So it all comes down to, like, what games are being played and what types, and then I build a list from there.
That makes a lot of sense. How does Bard play differently at part? Like we've been talking a lot about kingdom level play, inner kingdom play. How does Bard play differently at part?
It's really going to depend your size park. So I'm from Joplin, Missouri. It's small, so even our big park days were like 10 people. Where I can go to Springfield and we'll have 30 to 40 people. I can go up to St. Louis and we'll have 50 people. So, especially when it comes to playing a bard down here where you're in a smaller population size, if you are playing a good bard, you need to be aware of how the players around you are feeling. Because it's okay to feel powerful and feel like, man, all right, you and you and you and you all gone. And so now the whole other team is gone and we just instantly swept this game. But part of playing this game is to have fun. And you're allowed to have your fun, but don't try to take that away from others. So I think on smaller fields, it becomes significantly more powerful because I can lost your whole team or terror your whole team. And now we basically have the game for like an objective based game. So it's being aware of your abilities while also maintaining like a fun atmosphere. The bigger your part gets, the less powerful you become, but the more pointed you could be, if that makes sense.
I feel like that's true for all the caster classes, really. Like there's so many, if I have more spell points than people, you can really have an answer for everybody, and you have to be able to back off a little bit. So
yeah,
out there in Tal Dagore, is there a Paragon circle?
Kind of ish. I mean, all the paragons kind of talk to each other, but I don't know if there's like a formal like circle.
But what's something that a bard player could really do to stand out to the decision makers in Tal Dagore?
Yeah, so we used to have kind of an issue with this since Bard is kind of one of those ones that's like you're not making a huge impact in terms of like you're not killing a lot of people, you're not bringing people back to life. So there was a string of time where we didn't have anybody getting Paragon. It was more classes that like easily you can see what's
Mm,
going on. Like we had a lot of Paragon healers because you'd be like, oh yeah, dude, that healer rezzed everybody on their team like 3 times. Or that warrior was in full play and was killing everybody. And so we've done a very good job about like reframing our mind on like watching the games intently, not just for people who stand out in like the kill realm or people who stand out in like the healing realm, but like all classes. So we typically try to have somebody watching the individual classes. Somebody will kind of be watching the bard, somebody will kind of be
yeah.
watching the druid. And then if you're really pushing for that, like you've gotten to the point where you're like, man, I think I want to try to Paragon this class, like just come up and tell us. And so that way we can keep a better eye on what you're doing. For us, mostly it's, are you knowledgeable about your class? Are you able to adapt when things are happening either on the field or if people are asking you questions off of the field? And so just being basically the expert at your class and being able to apply that knowledge in the game as well, which is literally like the definition of a paragon. So
What advice would you give someone who's just starting out as a bard?
don't get discouraged by level 1.
Mm,
I feel like level 1 bard is extremely weak. I mean, it should, it's like a level 1, but it does not give you the actual sense of the class itself because it opens up to so many possibilities if you just get past that point. And then know that because of our immunity state in the game right now, bard is relatively hard if you want to be fighting to start out. So get past level 1, start putting your toes into the different archetypes, figure out what you like, mix and match, have some fun, but don't give up on those like first 5 or 6 days. Like push through it. You got it. It's super
yeah.
fun. It's super fun.
I've played a little bard, and bard can be a lot of fun. Like the songs are a neat mechanic, and then dropping out to cast and then having to get back in there real quick. Like,
Or switching song to song to song depending on like what's coming
mm,
at you is just like that quick thinking and quick getting it done is just so much fun.
I have not done that yet. I'll work my way up to it, but before I make a Kingdom Bard appearance, I definitely need to get that down because that feels really important. So I this is my biggest problem is doing these interviews. Every time I get done with an interview or editing a video, I'm like, gosh, I really just want to go play that class. And it's never park day, and it's always like Friday night or a random Tuesday. And it's like, okay, yeah. Now I'm really like, I'm like, kids, let's go play Amtgard in the yard. And we'll go play in the yard for a little while. I'll play the class. But now I'm like, man, I sure would like to play all of these classes. Why aren't there more battle games? That's my dumb problem. But a couple of silly questions here towards the end of our interview. What is a fictional character that best represents how you play Bard?
All right, so I thought about this one.
Ooh, okay.
I think in my head it's like Lelouch from Code Geass. Pure manipulation the whole way around.
None of those
Against
words
me?
mean.
Oh, well, he's a master manipulator. So
Okay.
that's where I think I am. People who play against me would probably
Mhm.
more think like Jar Jar Binks, the annoying character that somehow is in everything and somehow contributes to the death or some way or some cause. So while I think I'm this super cool, awesome character, everybody else is looking at me like Misa hates you. So
Oh, oh, that's perfect. Okay. The Bard is Jar Jar Binks. That's the tagline of the episode right there. Okay. Can you share with me what's the coolest thing you've ever done while playing Bard?
um I think the coolest thing I've ever done is like that song switching. You know, my shield was gone, it was broken, and so now I'm like open to arrows. Typically I don't have to worry about arrows, I'll just block them, but now
Right.
so I'm casting Song of Deflection because I'm getting them at me, and then I have to switch to Song of Freedom because the ball's coming at me. I smack the ball out of the hand, not stopped. Thank you. Get out of here, entangle. And then I see an arrow coming at me, and right before it gets to me, I get the song off and I get to block the arrow. It's just
Oh,
such
that's
a
cool.
cool feeling when you're just like, no, and then oh crap, no. It's just so cool when you can get it off and it's like in time.
Yeah,
You feel so cool.
that that is truly excellent. Okay, if you could invent a new spell or ability for Bard, like we're giving Bard a Christmas present here. We don't care about balance. We'll figure out balance on the back end. But what's the cool idea? What are we adding to Bard to make it the rule of cool here?
Okay. So I think it would have to be some type of song,
Mm-hmm.
but a type of song that gives you a kill spell. A type of song
Ooh.
that then you
Okay.
use to take somebody out. Now, what I would call it or how it would work, I don't know. But bards have no kill spells. But to have a kill song, and you can't make it unlimited, that would be insane. But you have a kill song where it's like a hardcore rage
Hmm.
song, and you're just death metal to this person.
Yeah,
Would be cool.
that'd be interesting. If you did it like it'd have to be like the res incant in Link. If you made it
Mhm.
like naturally ambulant and so you could you as you're singing this long song like at the end of the
Like
song,
running, yeah, at the end of the song, the person you cast it on dies.
right? Like
Like a pure rage against the machine. I agree. I think it would have to be a long casting time. It would be naturally ambulant. It obviously you could only take a few. It would be high leveled. It would be
yeah,
expensive. But
like a 6 level song. Like you could take this or Song of Interference.
you can either make yourself a monk or you can make yourself basically Finger of Death.
That'd be really
So it
neat
still
though.
plays into the flexibility of a bard.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, well, instead of taking more immunities, I'm now going to take a kill spell.
Mm-hmm. All right, I have a worse way of making this. What if you target it at the end of the song? Like
Oh my gosh. So you get through the whole song and then you go, you. Oh, that would, I'd love it.
like like you could almost run it as a Finger of Death. Like you're
Hmm.
charging it up like it's a Jack in the Box. Like pop, ha, got you. Well, so
Yes.
you gain Finger of Death 0 per refresh. It can't be, but when you finish this song, you get a Finger of Death that you have to use within 10 seconds.
It's an instant finger of death on whoever you cast. Yeah.
Right? Like it's a like
And
whatever
then you have
the
people who are running either running away from you or they're trying to kill you faster so you don't finish strong because they don't know who you're casting it at.
what
So
if
there's
it's
no
not
way to
ambulant
protect
then?
yourself.
You're stopped while you sing this song, and
I'd be fine with that if we do make it like
you're
you have to cast Finger of Death within 10 seconds and that Finger of Death is ambulance.
so you're that I like this. Okay, you're standing still. You've got your sword and your shield. You're playing combat caster. Whatever the song is, let the bodies hit the floor ends, and then you're like,
Yeah.
and then you look around the field real quick, and you're like, that guy, ambulance, die. Like that moment would be. I don't know how balanced it would be, but it certainly would be cool. You nailed that. Oh, I love that.
You would have the best stories from both sides of the field. The person it happened to is going to think it's the funniest thing ever, too.
Right? Especially if it's like if it's maxed one. Like it's once per
Yeah,
refresh max
100%.
one. Like you almost have the what was it called? Doomsday. The Doomsday spell where it was line of sight and everybody
Yeah,
died from
almost.
D7.
Yeah.
You're just standing there and you're like singing a little song and they're like, "Oh, what's that guy doing?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, when that guy's done singing the song, he gets to pick someone and kill them." Like
Somebody just dies.
not even Finger of Death. Like it's sorcery
Yeah.
school.
Yeah,
So it
so
hits
nobody's immune to it.
anybody.
It just
Nobody's immune
yeah,
to it. It hits anybody. And then
so
the
then
incant is
everybody's out to
just
kill you. Yeah.
name die, name die, name die. And so you're just, like, oh, I'm singing my little song, my little happy Callahan die, Callahan die. And then Callahan's you're like, oh no, what a bummer.
Oh,
It has to curse
yeah, it
them
would be fun.
too.
It would be
Oh,
so cool.
there you go. It's a chain spell. So then it's Callahan die, Callahan die, Callahan die, Callahan I curse thee, Callahan I curse thee, Callahan I curse thee. And now you're dead and
Heck
cursed.
yeah.
And
Heck yeah.
it'd be
Oh, that's so
all
cool.
right. Now I do have to make a V9. This is the coolest idea we've ever had. Like Song of Spite. Song of Spite.
Song of Spite is such a good name.
Oh, it goes
Oh,
so hard. Gotta come up with an incant
oh.
now, but like I feel like it's gotta
You know
it's
I'm going to be
either
working on it this weekend now. Now I'm not going to
yeah.
think of the song to do.
Send me your lyrics. You know what? In the comments of this video, if
Yeah.
you've made it here, put your suggestion for the incant for Song of Spite.
Yes.
It's either gotta be a diss track or a breakup song. It's got to be one of those two, and it needs to be about the same length as the res incant. That's the homework. Everybody get in the comments.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so sad this is at the
amazing.
end of the video where like 4 people are gonna make it to the end. Song of Spite. Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
so good.
I'm gonna have to
Jar
call
Jar
some
Binks and
people.
Song of Spite. This episode's great.
So absolutely. Okay, well we've come to the end now. Let's do the wrap up and get you out of here. What is your next Amtgard goal? What are you working on now?
So right now, honestly, I'm in a weird state, like life-wise. I'm
Mhm.
finishing med school, and then because of how that works, to do residency, you kind of get sent to a random place. So until I kind of know where I'm going, Amtgard has not been the biggest thing. I'm still running like quests and still making games for some people when they ask me to, because that's passion. So I am still doing that. Really, the next thing I want to do is get a martial class to Paragon, because I Bard's my only Paragon right now. So I want to
Okay.
do a martial class, probably Barbarian, and then I'm gonna swing back to the casting classes and get the rest of them all lined out.
Okay. Well, when you get around to that, look me back up and we'll do another interview because I'm
Heck yeah.
very curious to see what you do with Barbarian. That'll be really neat. But first, you got to get that silly medical degree and licensing and all that out of your way. All right. Uh, so, with that in mind, I know you're super busy with medical school and everything. If someone in your kingdom right now is looking at this video and they're like, "Man, I really want to learn more about Bard," is it okay for them to reach out to you? Do you have the time and the bandwidth to talk to people or take on apprentices or anything like that?
Yeah, I will say I'm probably not like a pure apprenticeship right now, but like I'm always open. I'm going into pathology. Like I've got free time right now finishing off this year. So like I'm on Discord, you can find me on Facebook. You can if you know somebody who knows me who's got my number, you can text me. Any of that's fine. And I'm pretty quick to respond most of the time. If I'm too busy, I will get back to you. So I don't think I have any unanswered messages. So by all
Cool.
means, please contact me. I love talking about it.
All right. Do you have any final advice for the Bardlings before we end the show?
Everybody should play Bard so they can see how fun it is. And if you have not tried Bard because you're like, I don't play casters, too bad. Pick up a sword and shield, take a couple of spells, and then go play Bard. If you are
You
like,
could
but I want to kill people, play Bard. If I don't want to do anything, play Bard. That's it. Just play Bard. It's
play
super fun.
16 men to
Play
Bard.
every 16 men Bard or sit in a chair and sing Song of Power. It doesn't matter. Play it. You will enjoy it. You will find something you like about it and will want to keep playing it.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for coming on tonight and talking to me about Bard. This has been so fun. For those of you in the audience, if you made it all the way to the end here, be sure to get your Song of Spite incants down in the comments. You know, I can't promise anything, but maybe the best one will try to do something with it and make it fun. But definitely get in the comments and tell us what you think the incant for Song of Spite should be. If you have any questions, that's a great place to leave them as well. I try to respond to every comment that comes in. A lot of times the Paragons will be hanging out in the chat down there to answer any questions as well. So, and then also be sure to subscribe for more battle gaming content. We're doing the 12 Days of Paragons right now. I can't remember off the top of my head who is next, but I'm sure that they're great because everybody I've talked to has been fantastic. So, thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.